The following may contain language that is not suitable for all audiences. It's time for the Low Fat Podcast.
Woohoo.
That just doesn't sound good at all.
Ting ting.
All right.
What did happen to the bell?
I got nothing to talk about.
Well, shit. It's going to be like an episode of Seinfeld.
I wish. If it were like an episode of Seinfeld, we could monetize that and make a whole lot of money. And never work again.
That'd be great. I don't have a topic either.
Of course, there's a real pithy statement that I really dislike.
What's that?
Do what you love and you'll never have to work again.
Oh, is that like, that's like the Joseph Campbell quote?
If it is,
Follow your bliss.
Whatever, I think that's bullshit.
What's wrong with following your bliss?
What if my bliss is to sit there and make rings out of clovers?
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll find a way to make that, into something like maybe you'll find a way to make a living doing that.
Well, I realize now that I've watched way too many movies.
Right.
And
movies are great, though. That's what's great about a movie.
Yeah, but
like the happy ending and all that.
But I am more of a I can't figure myself out. I mean, I'm very idealistic. I've got my head in the clouds. I'm incredibly practical and cynical. So
you're a romantic then?
And cynical on top of that. Yes, I'm a cynical, romantic idealist.
Well, that's weird.
Who's
you
also
can't be cynical and be a romantic.
A romantic is really just about feelings.
No.
That's what I believe that the terminology about the romantic is. It's all about your emotions. And yes, I have my emotions very strong, lead me in various directions. But on top of that, I've got a head that, so it's like I'm a weird combo of stuff that I can't.
Sounds like hell, quite honestly.
But
it does sound like hell.
It reminds me of a Jim Caviezel movie.
Jim Caviezel.
One of my favorite actors.
He's a good actor.
Thoroughly underrated. Wish that he had a much more...
Hey, what was that sci-fi movie he did? When he was like on the planet, he was the stranger on the planet.
He was the alien that was the Vikings.
Outlander? Was it called Outlander?
You're the one that turned me on to it. I don't know.
I think it's called Outlander.
But anyway, this is a movie about Bobby Jones.
The
golfer. Yes.
I don't think I've seen this movie.
It also starred Claire Forlani, another actress that I could not understand why she did not make it bigger.
Maybe she's batshit crazy.
Tell me an A-list talent that isn't.
Oh.
And I mean that in a really nice way.
If any A-list actor did that, they wouldn't take it in a very nice way.
Okay, I don't mean it in a nice way. I mean it without attributing any kind of I don't mean it offensively.
So you don't really mean crazy, then?
Well, no, I don't mean it offensively.
Okay.
Why? If someone is smart and you call them smart, people think it's cool.
Right. If
someone is stupid and you call them stupid, all of a sudden it becomes an insult.
Right.
I don't get that.
Because nobody wants to be called stupid.
I don't want to be called short, but whenever anybody talks about some short guy, they always say, about your height.
So, you mean someone my height calls you short?
No. Everyone, when people sit there and say short guy and they put up their hand to demonstrate how tall this person is, that hand is always at my height.
Well, you are short.
I know I'm short.
But you don't seem short. That's the weird thing.
Okay, that's cool. Thank God for small favors, right? But I am short, and if you called me short, me being offended by that is really kind of dumb on my part.
Yeah, but crazy is like...
You can't help that either. You can't help crazy any more than you can help height.
But crazy has all sorts of negative connotations.
Oh, okay, it does.
Short is whatever. Short's just short. Crazy is like...
You don't think short has all kinds of connotations?
Not really.
Why do you think some of the most toughest and best people that fight are short? I'm not one of them.
Because they had to fight?
Because
they're short.
Yeah, and because people think they can...
push them around.
Kick the ass of the short guy.
Right. That's true. Most short guys... You gotta watch out for the short guy in a fight.
But so, this whole, okay, crazy might have connotations to it. Well, if I have to explain my connotations, I will definitely say, but I'm not talking about certifiable insane.
Right.
I'm talking about crazy being like super kind of there's rational, and then there's like irrational, and then there's like super irrational. And I believe that a lot of A-list talent are that way.
So tell me about the movie.
Bobby Jones, Claire Forlani. Again, why didn't she have a bigger career? I wish she did. I just like pretty much every male.
Yeah, I liked her in Meet Joe Black.
In the 90s.
Yeah.
Thought she was it. So anyway, Bobby Jones, for those of you who don't know, Bobby Jones was a golfer. He never went pro, and he was like a phenomenal golfer. He won the US Open and the British Open, I think, in the same year.
Oh, wow.
He designed the golf course at Augusta. So the Masters tournament is played on a golf course that he designed.
Oh my gosh.
He never played professionally. So
presumably he did play at Augusta, though, the golf course that he designed.
Yes. And I think supposedly he could play it in 90 minutes walking.
Wow.
So, I've seen pictures of Bobby Jones, and I'm just like, how did that fat guy walk and play golf?
Oh, he was fat too?
Well, for his time, I don't think he was particularly overweight, but, if you look at pictures of Franklin Roosevelt during World War II,
yeah,
he looks super old, right?
Yeah.
He was in his 60s.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. Different time.
Exactly. So in the movie, somebody asked the Bobby Jones character, how come he doesn't turn pro? Right?
What's the movie called? Do you remember?
Bobby Jones, I guess.
Yeah.
And he says, if you're an amateur, that means you're doing it because you love it. And once you get paid, then you can't love it anymore.
Right. Which is why he didn't want to go pro.
Yeah. And so that my whole idea of like follow your bliss, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, if you love something and then you start getting paid to do it, then you can't necessarily say you love it anymore.
So just have your job and then do the stuff you love outside of work. In
fact, I don't think that, and even the work thing, this is the way we're living is kind of not the way most animals live.
What do you mean?
Well, basically, we work to get food and shelter. 1,000 years ago,
we had the food and shelter.
You could basically go collect the food and you can make your own little lean-to shelter.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Heck, there are tribes in Africa, and I'm thinking of one in particular. I don't know the name of the tribe, but they basically eat this thing that's essentially like a Brazil nut or a macadamia nut or something.
Uh-huh.
But this nut is
it gives them all the sustenance they need.
It's some kind of superfood, but that's what they survive on, this nut. And they spend about 1,000 hours a year getting the nuts to
and the
eat.
Rest of the time they just kind of
do whatever.
That sounds great.
Yeah, but without money, right?
Yeah. So basically, man, it's stupid. I mean, it's the way we live is just kind of like not very good.
Well, the way we live,
it's not good.
The way we live, I suppose. I mean, I'm not prepared to put any kind of value judgment on that because...
Well, I don't feel particularly fulfilled.
Okay, and the reason why I'm not prepared to put any kind of value judgment on it is because I'm even more unprepared to live the other way.
You mean eating macadamia nuts?
Essentially, yeah, pretty much.
A hunter-gatherer lifestyle.
Well, I know you're making a joke, but yeah, I'm not prepared to go out and make my own clothes.
Well, no, because you don't know how to do any of that stuff.
That too, but
that's not your point.
Well, that might be.
You say I'm not prepared. You wouldn't want to have a lifestyle like that, or you don't have the skills.
Well, I know I don't have the skills right now, and if I'm hardy, right? If I'm hardy and adaptable, I will get the skills to live that way. Mm-hmm. But a subsistence lifestyle is not something that is appealing to me. I'm not prepared to give up. Movies.
Yeah.
My
couches.
Sure. Warm clothes in the wintertime. Cool shelter in the summertime.
Yeah.
loads of leisure time to do more than just kind of lay around and scratch my butt all day.
Yeah, but that's what most of us do, though.
What do you mean?
Well, we're not very. I don't think.
No, I mean, actually, your leisure time means you're just kind of sitting out in the middle of a field scratching your butt.
Okay.
Because without any of the stuff that I have, right? If I decide to say screw you, society, and go off live somewhere by myself, or go off live somewhere off the grid or away from, don't need money, don't need this, don't need that, then I've got to be able to eat, and if that's taken care of, right? Mm-hmm. By going out and fishing and hunting or whatever, and then I've got some kind of shelter, right?
Yeah.
Well, if I'm outside of the society, then that's all I got.
Yeah,
so,
you literally will have nothing to do.
Right. And even when I have stuff to do, most of the time I'm just sitting around thinking, which is also quite annoying. I mean, I will sit there and put on some kind of podcast while I'm playing little Microsoft Mahjong or card games, and I hear like maybe 5% of the podcast. I'm not paying attention to the card games that I'm playing, which I win every time, and I'm basically just thinking.
Again. I that's just like I don't know. I'm not doing that.
And I know that we can't multitask, and I'm not saying that I've got like a chunk of brain devoted to each thing. But
see, I feel like when I'm doing two things, I'm doing neither of them particularly well, and I'm certainly not sitting there thinking about other stuff.
But you do, right? You turn on the TV and then you play on your phone.
Well, yeah,
and I'm not saying that's you.
Or I edit the podcast.
There's tons of people that do that. I mean, there's people that scare me even more, and that's when they're driving.
Oh my god!
At 90 to 100 kph.
No, more sometimes.
Maybe 160 kph. Well, no, I don't think anybody's doing
130.
Okay, yeah, doing 120, 130 kph, and they're looking at a phone.
Yeah. I saw a mom doing it the other day.
Well, there's plenty of people that do that, and that's incredibly scary to me.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting there wondering if I do it, I can tell you the number of times I've done it. I can count the number of times I've done it in the last decade on one hand.
Wow. I'm not gonna
because I'm extremely fearful of dying in a fiery car crash. Not that it's, and when I say dying in a fiery car crash, it's not the instant death that scares me.
I'm not going to address the topic on the grounds that it might incriminate me.
This isn't a courtroom, so that's fine. But I'm not particularly scared of dying instantly. I mean that's kind of the way I pray my death. I want my death to be like Sean Connery's.
Yeah.
It's getting into a fiery car crash and then lingering for an excruciating amount of months, days, or even hours.
Hours that feel like days and months.
I've had minutes that felt like days and months.
That's crazy.
So, Oh, I did think of something that I wanted to talk about before, but it's escaped me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe. You sure? Is it going to come back?
I know it's not going to come back, but I like movies, and I think that we can do better as a person who's not a member of the movie making bunch.
Let's make some movies.